Earn your online healthcare degree from your couch, at the kitchen table, or even from that weirdly combined guest room/home office. We're talking about your online Mercy Plus degree from Mercy College of Health Sciences. With 4 convenient start times per year, the ability to transfer up to 90 credits at a cost of just $2,500 per quarter, and healthcare majors such as nursing, public health, and healthcare administration, Mercy Plus is the fast, flexible, and affordable way to transform into a healthcare hero. Apply online today at plus.mchs.edu.
Now that commission-free trading is the norm, it's time to rethink how we define value. Value is more than a price tag. It's the confidence of knowing you have a team of traders on standby to answer any question. It's thinkorswim's charting and analysis tools, and it's a personalized education to fine-tune your skills. Value is becoming smarter with every commission-free online equity trade. Discover true value with TD Ameritrade, where smart investors get smarter.
Welcome in, LINEUPLOGIC fans. It is your boy, Spartanzilla, getting ready to break down the November 8th, can't believe it's already November, 8th edition of the Fantasy Fast Break. With me, you've come to love and adore this guy. It's my man, Jeremy Lopez, a.k.a. Take No Days Off. What's up, Jeremy? How you doing?
What's going on, Queffo?
Man, it's good. We're just getting this slate, up here in the Midwest. It's getting cold, so what better thing to do than try to sweat some DFS, going forward here in in snowy November already. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly. So love all the feedback we've been getting from you guys in our Slack chat. Again, for those interested in being part of the great LINEUPLOGIC community. Patreon.com/LINEUPLOGIC. $10 a month gets you access to the Slack, gets you access to the tools that my co-host here, Take No Days Off, Jeremy, puts out there for a variety of sports, especially the NBA. Great tools and tips. $10 a month, Patreon.com/LINEUPLOGIC. Best $10 in the business, like we talked about the last podcast. We didn't raise the price. A lot of other people have raised the price, but we did not raise the price on that, so hopefully you will become a member of that community, and it is a great community full of a lot of smart DFS players. So as we like to do on the Fantasy Fast Break, we're going to walk through a little bit of the stuff that's happening around the association. We're going to go through some key injuries. We'll break it down relatively game by game. And what it seems like most of you guys like the most is our lineup build segment at the end. So we'll do that, and we'll get a little bit of twist on that. So you'll see that when we get to that part of the podcast. So with that, Jeremy, you got anything else before we get rolling?
Now let's do it.
Let's boogie. Okay. So injuries, there's a bunch of them. I'm going to run them down. I know a lot of pods do this, but it is helpful as you try to frame out the slate and figure out what makes sense and what injuries are going to open up playing time opportunities, open up minutes, and we know minutes equals money in the words of the famous Al Smizzle. So let me go on the injuries I have so far. Again, this is a taping the night before, so on a Thursday night. So far, the injuries I have, I've got Rajon Rondo for the Lakers, doubtful. I've got Avery Bradley, questionable. D'Angelo Russell is now probable. Jeff Teague is questionable. Emmanuel Mudiay is out. Lonzo Ball is probable. Jeremy Lamb is out. Dwayne Dedmon is questionable. Gary Harris is probable. Harry Giles questionable. Miles Turner, I should say. JJ Redick questionable. My man Blake Griffin, he is out, but he's now day-to-day. Derrick Rose, also from the Pistons, is out. Terrence Ross is doubtful. Tim Frazier is doubtful. And Ben Simmons, your boy there, Jeremy, is out for, it looks like, 3 games. Whew, that's a lot of injuries. And we're not even
slate, man.
And we're not even a quarter of the way in, right? I mean, this is nuts. So, and that goes on top of all the the big name injuries that we already know, that we won't belabor the point with the Stephs and the Zions and all these other stars. So it's a war of attrition already to start the season, which is kind of crazy. So, and as we move through this game by game, you will see the impact of these various injuries have on roster construction for the Friday night slate. With that, there's over-unders that I'm going to give all of you right now for the ones we have. Again, we're taping this on a Thursday night for the Friday slate, so hopefully you guys listen to this on your commute, going to work or coming from work or dropping kids off or whatnot. I'll give you the over-unders we have right now, and it's subject to change as the day goes on. So we have no total in the Detroit-Indiana game. I think they're just kind of waiting to see what happens if Blake actually plays. I know I mentioned he's out, but you got you got the Turner injury, so I think that's why we have no line there, no total there. I should say. Indiana is favored though, but with no total. Cleveland and Washington, the over/under is 227. Memphis and Orlando, the over/under is 208. Sacramento and Atlanta, over/under 220.5. No total in the Golden State Minnesota game. Probably D'Angelo Russell, the big key there. Toronto, New Orleans, we got a 233 total. New York and Dallas, 217 total. Milwaukee and Utah, 216 total. Philly and Denver, no line there. It's interesting. It looks like Joel Embiid is probable, so we kind of missed him in the rundown, but I'm sure he's going to play. But the no total on that one, probably waiting on that news. Brooklyn and Portland, big totals, 233. And then Miami and the Lakers, 215. So a nice even line total there with the Lakers favored in that game. So going through those, Jeremy, anything stand out for you in terms of big numbers right now?
Not really. I think Vegas is pretty much right on with what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, Vegas makes money by being real smart about this and real sharp on those lines. So
yeah, they're a lot better than what I am anyway. So.
and me, a lot better than me as well. So, all right, let's take it game by game, folks. Working our way through this big 11-game slate in the NBA on Friday night. We will start with my Detroit Pistons coming off a nice win on Wednesday against the Knicks. They traveled to the nation's heartland to take on the Indiana Pacers. Pacers are favored by 7.5. Like I said, there's no total. Jeremy, what are we thinking about with the Pistons, other than the obvious, that man in the middle, Dre Drummond? What other Pistons are you liking on this slate?
I think Bruce Brown is still a little bit cheap for his defensive upside. I think he's just been getting it done on the defensive end. 5,600 on FanDuel. I think he can still, like 2 of his last 3 games, he eclipsed that 40-point mark. He's playing close to 40 minutes a game, and if this game stays close, like I think it would, I think he can hit that 40 mark again.
Now, do you think the value is still there with him on the FanDuel? Because I think he was 5,800, if I'm not mistaken.
56 today.
56, okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think like it's not a smash spot, but that's just going to lower the ownership on him as well. So I guess we'll pay close attention to it later on in the day and just see if that leverage is still there. I think he can still get to that 40-point mark.
Okay. Any other Pistons you're liking tonight? Or on Friday, I should say?
Markieff Morris is still well underpriced. And like I said on the last pod, he's not going to be this bad forever. And he came out last game versus his brother and put up 37 fantasy points in 29 minutes. So, like I said, it's possible for him. He's only 4,700. If he gets you 25 fantasy points, you're very happy with that.
I just don't like rostering him, but I got to get the bias out of it. Work on the numbers. You're right.
Yeah, but you got to understand too. Like when I'm talking about these players, I'm not talking about just like a staple of your cash build. I'm talking about like these are guys you can consider in your 150. So like I would be considering Markieff Morris in my 150. Maybe 10 to 15% of my build would consist of him.
Man, you guys in that mass multi-entry, man, that's a whole nother world, man. The MME, that's a whole nother world. But you've gotten to master that. So nothing with Luke Kennard, nothing with any other Pistons pieces.
Yeah, Luka Kennard still has some type of value in him. But like he's getting really close to that consistent 5x. Like he's been right around the 30 fantasy point mark. And being at 5,800, he's almost 6K, which is your 5x would be 30. And he hasn't shown much ceiling past that. His highest on the season is 35, which came against this Pacers team, but he also had a 22-point game versus this same Pacers team. This is the third time they're playing this year already. And I just don't see the ceiling in that price tag for him.
Gotcha. All right, let's move over to the Pacers. What do you like with the Pacers?
Well, if Miles Turner sits again, Domantas Sabonis has to just play as many minutes as he can handle. But you got to understand, too, that he's coming off of that injury. And I know the last game got a little bit out of hand versus the Wizards, if I'm remembering that correctly.
Yeah.
But he only played 27 minutes. But the last two times that he played against the Pistons this year, he played 35 and 38. At 9K, he's been putting up 45 and over, a lot better. And you got to understand, too, that with these higher price players, you don't necessarily look for the 5X like you do for the mid-range guys. You're okay with a 4X or 4.5X at 9K. And I think he'll be able to easily get there tomorrow.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think with Turner being kind of in that, questionable state, Goga, the other center
Goga's
there.
out.
Goga's
Goga's
out.
out.
Yeah.
Concussion.
With both of those two either out or questionable, I mean, this seems like a real, I hate to say it, smash spot for Sabonis. I mean, I could see upside of maybe 55 FanDuel points. Because like you said, he's got to play all the minutes that he can handle. Even though he's coming off injury and it's early in the season, he's going to get all the minutes. So I really like Sabonis here. What about your boy?
Yeah.
What about your boy Malcolm Brogdon on this squad?
They lowered his price tag a little bit. Last game he was 92, now he's 88. I think this is another spot where, I mean, he's basically the Victor Oladipo right now. He's doing everything that he wants on this offense. He's creating, he's scoring, he's rebounding, he's playing defense, he's doing whatever he wants on this offense. And that ceiling at 8,800 is still there. He's got games close to 60. He's got 2 games below 40 this year. So that there's still a lot of value in that 8,800 price tag.
No doubt. And again, with no Jeremy Lamb there in the backcourt as well. So this is Brogdon's show to run. So.
Yeah, the only other guy that I'm considering on this Pacers team is either Jakar Sampson or Doug McDermott. Depending on Miles Turner being out, if Miles Turner is out, one of or maybe both of them will have to play some bigger minutes, and it's gonna pay off for one of them. They're 38 and at 3,900 apiece. I would definitely set a rule in my 150 to say don't play them together though, because I don't think they're both gonna go off on the same day.
Right, makes some sense. Anything else with this game?
No, that's it. We can move on.
Let's keep it moving. Cleveland and Washington, the battle of two, sad sack squads. We talked about a 227 total. Washington is a favorite. I don't even see why, but they're the favorite. Let's start with the Cleveland side of the ball. There's two guys that I've been locking in a lot of lineups this year. I'm sure you can figure them with Kevin Love and Tristan Thompson. Those are really the only Cavs I see. What about you? Anything from Cleveland outside of those two guys?
No, those are really the only two people who I really consider every day. Larry Nance has been finding his way into some of my builds just because his minutes have been up, and on his career, he's a lot better than what he's been this season. But outside of that, those are the two guys that I'm constantly looking at. Tristan Thompson, I'm not sure why, but he just doesn't make it to enough of my lineups as I actually like him. So maybe just because his career numbers are just a lot lower than what he's been over the last season. So I need to maybe adjust some things so I can get him to pop a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like, I don't know if this is sustainable, but in the early going of the season, he has really just He's averaging almost 41 FanDuel points. I mean, this guy's killing it right